Do you ever feel overwhelmed by constant distractions? Is your focus slipping away in the sea of notifications, social media scrolling, and endless entertainment? If so, don't worry because you're not alone. Today we're diving into the science of dopamine and looking at how you can regain control over your life, your focus, and your productivity. This is the Dopamine Detox video. Hi, if you're new here, I'm Brandon from Peak Life, where I share my insights as an engineer and we journey together to design, build, and live our own peak life. Dopamine detox is a strategy to reset your brain's wiring and its reward system by strategically reducing and avoiding the activities that trigger excessive dopamine release. Think of this as a way to reclaim your focus and your energy. In our hyper-connected world today, we are bombarded by constant stimulation. Social media has endless scrolls where you're always looking for that next video. Video games where they spend millions, if not billions of dollars to engineer the exact progression to keep you entertained and locked in. Streaming services, wherever video that you click to watch leaves you with a feeling that, oh, maybe you should be watching something else. All of this fights for our attention. And if you're like most people, you end up watching a show while scrolling on your phone. All of it searching for the next source of immediate gratification. But when you look at this from a top level, you have to ask, what happens when we indulge too much? Dr. Andrew Huberman, a neuroscientist from Stanford, explains that dopamine is a neurotransmitter that drives our reward-seeking behavior. It's what makes us feel good when we have something that we accomplished. But it isn't all glory. It can also lead to this addictive behavior of constantly wanting more. And we can even become overstimulated, where we constantly feel tired but wired. With every social media like and comment, with every level achieved in a video game, our brain gets hit with a little dopamine. Over time, this constant stimulation, something that we didn't evolve to have so much of, can lead us to burnout, decreased motivation, and an inability to focus on the most important tasks. Diving deeper into the science of dopamine, dopamine plays a crucial role in how we seek rewards and form new habits, like the author James Clear explains in his fantastic book Atomic Habits. Dopamine's involved in our motivation, our pleasure, and our learning. However, when we get accustomed to this constant hit of quick dopamine release, we end up becoming desensitized, where our brain needs more and more just for the same base level of feeling. Well, I know I've personally experienced where this desensitization leads to a cycle of needing more dopamine, more hits of stimulation to achieve the same level of reward in our brain. This then leads to exhaustion and a feeling like we never have enough. The dopamine detox strategy has been gaining a lot of traction online, and that's because most of us are wanting to find a sense of peace and fulfillment in our everyday. The dopamine detox involves taking a break from this high level of stimulation and allowing our brain to reset its reward system. By reducing the constant bombardment of stimulation, we are able to recalibrate our reward center, and therefore the sensitivity to dopamine, which leads to better focus and motivation in your daily tasks. Let me share my own personal journey with the dopamine detox protocol. In January, after reviewing my past year of 2023, I decided to delete both Facebook and Instagram off my phone. At first, this was a really challenging habit to break, because prior to this, any free second I would flip open my phone just to see the notifications, to scroll through some shorts or some reels. But after just the first week, I started to notice significant improvements in my own mental health. I began to feel more calm and less anxious. Without the constant barrage of social media, my mind felt much clearer, and I was able to focus for longer periods of time. And over time, I was far less worried about immediate gratification or the fear of missing out. And instead of wasting my time on social media, I found joy in deeper, more meaningful activities. Things like spending time with my family, my friends, going for a slow walk out in nature, and reading a book in the backyard. Now let's talk about how you can apply the dopamine detox to your life. Here are 3 quick and easy actionable steps to get you started. Action step 1, to identify the high dopamine activities. So take out your notepad and take a few minutes to write down the activities that you feel are giving you a hit of dopamine release. These could be things like checking your social media, scrolling YouTube, endlessly binging that TV series, or mindlessly logging hours in video games. I suggest you make a list of these activities, and then write down next to each one how many hours a week you're spending. And after that, take a highlighter and highlight green all the ones that you really love, and highlight red the things that aren't really adding to your life and instead are leaving you more drained. Action step 2 is to set boundaries and limits. Starting off on all the red highlighted activities. Set clear boundaries and timelines for when you'll engage in that. If that's on social media, maybe you'll give yourself 15 minutes a day to check your notifications. If that's video games, maybe you have an hour a couple times a week to play it. There's countless apps that you can use on both your phone and your computer to track the time that you're spending on these, or even block excessive time. You could also do what I did and just delete social media as an experiment. And on to action step number 3. Replace these high dopamine activities with lower dopamine ones. This means taking out these quick hits and instead replacing it with more meaningful activities, like calling your family, going for a coffee or walk with a friend, reading outside on the beautiful days, or cozy inside on the rainy ones, setting time to exercise, and spending time in nature, which I find can really help ground and reset us. Gradually, you'll find that you desire these high immediate gratification activities less, and you're much more fulfilled with these longer term activities. By doing a trial run of the dopamine detox, you'll find that your motivation, your focus, and your productivity will all improve. You'll be more fulfilled in your life. When your brain isn't just constantly searching for that next hit of dopamine, you're able to do what author Cal Newport calls slow productivity. You can make meaningful contributions towards your life, because most of the big things that are going to move the needle aren't the things that give you immediate gratification. It's the long-term thinking and execution that does. A dopamine detox will also improve your overall well-being. At least it did in my case. By taking breaks from the high stimulation activities, you give your brain a chance to rest and recover. Just like taking a rest day after a hard workout. This can lead you to a renewed sense of purpose and motivation. And you'll also find more joy in the simple things. When your brain isn't overstimulated, you become far less anxious. And everyday activities like cooking a good meal, spending time reading a great book, going for a walk and connecting with your families and friends become much more rewarding. Remember, it's not about necessarily eliminating all high dopamine activities, but instead finding a balance where you feel more comfortable in the long-term thinking and execution. So I'd like to challenge you to do your own dopamine detox and leave your experience in the comments below. So thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, check out the one up here where I go over the 8 life hacks that have actually helped my life. Thanks, and we'll see you in the next one.